I'd just like to introduce the Minister now, who will be coming and to speak to us. Minister Hutchins has always been a fierce advocate for gender equality, workers' rights and for social justice. As a former union organiser, Minister Hutchins was the first and youngest woman to be elected the Assistant Secretary of the Victorian Trades Hall Council, and she was the senior advisor to Steve Bracks, a former Premier, and championed affirmative action in the Australian Labor Party, which has seen the highest representation of female politicians to date. I believe we're almost at 50%, Minister? Very close. The next election we're aiming for 50 and over. Minister Hutchins holds a range of portfolios, including industrial relations, Aboriginal affairs, and of course, portfolios around women and the prevention of family violence. So please welcome Minister Hutchins.
Thank you, Emily. Can I too begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Wurundjeri, and pay my respects to their elders past, present, and of course future. And I had the absolute pleasure of just meeting with the Koori Youth Council yesterday, just down the road from here, and I can tell you the future of Aboriginal leadership in Victoria is in very, very good hands with them and the great work that they do. Can I thank Domestic Violence Resource Centre and RMIT for partnering today to put this seminar on, and I'm really looking forward to meeting some of you and hearing of your experiences in how the program is rolling out, but more generally hearing of and meeting some of you and hearing of your experiences out in the field as well. I'm extremely pleased to be joining you and to be supporting a seminar such as this. I've got to say, Emily, the PIP tips, you say that 10 times fast and you might be in a bit of trouble, but I think it's great that you're actually coming together and sharing experiences and learning from each other, so that, you know, this is a world first in what we're doing and rolling out, and to be able to continue to improve that by sharing experiences and getting advice from each other and supporting each other, most of all, I think will only serve to better improve the program. It is such a huge task for a government and a community to take on prevention of family violence, and it's not something that as a government we're shying away from at all. And I constantly am reminding everyone in my community who might be scared at the latest home invasion crime figures that family violence is still the #1 crime issue in our society, in our community, and more prevalent in some of the communities that I represent in the Parliament. And I know what a task it is to be able to turn that around and really take the issue of prevention seriously. And of course, we need to do that at many layers as a state government in a proactive sense, whether that is with our community groups, our sporting clubs, our workplaces, and of course the fantastic work that you're assisting us to roll out in schools. We know that stopping family violence and violence against women before it occurs really is about rejecting rigid gendered roles and changing attitudes in community. And as I said, that is no small task, but it's about encouraging those positive relationships, those positive comments to thrive and develop across our communities. It's about strengthening relationships, but also about making sure relationships are equal and respectful as well. And to do this, it's essential that the work we do with children to promote gender equity and respect for one another is also at the forefront. Unfortunately, only 2 weeks ago, I came under attack by our opposition through the weekend media around a program that we have partnered with Playgroups Victoria around delivering some new prevention programs targeting young children at the age of 2, 3 and 4 around positive role modelling. And it's a program, I've got to say, it's only 6 months into its inception, and we'll be assessing it after a 12-month period. But already we're getting excellent feedback from the 300 parents whose children have participated in that program, which fundamentally looks at challenging gender stereotypes and giving different images through music and play to children about mum being at work, mum being able to play sport, dad changing nappies, all of the generalisations that are inbuilt into 3 and 4 year olds by the time they even get to kindergarten, and challenging some of those in a very safe and playful way, and getting fantastic feedback. But unfortunately, the opposition that we have here in the state government has really questioned whether we're trying to brainwash children through these sort of programs. But of course, their set of values is quite different to ours going forward, and I think that teaching children that it's acceptable for girls and women to be able to take on any roles is a really important fundamental role in us challenging all of the stereotypes that are out there, and certainly taking on prevention of family violence. And we know that a good education is more than just about NAPLAN results, that a good education is about making sure kids feel connected, kids feel safe in their schools, and about really developing essential skills for them to become well-functioning members of our society. And I don't think anything has sharpened people's focus more about the need and support of schools to do that than the recent shooting in Florida, that mass shooting, where we now have the conversation in America happening daily around what is it that teachers are meant to be providing in the school, what is it that people are meant to be identifying as issues around wellbeing for students, and where does the responsibility from society stop at the school gate. And those conversations will no doubt continue to go on. I've got to say, I'm absolutely gobsmacked at the response of the President of the United States' response to this situation of looking at resourcing teachers by providing guns and training in the classroom. And it's just such a different world to how we operate here in Australia. But certainly the issues of respect, the issues of prevention, the issues of wellbeing are the same in any country, and something that I'm very proud that this government is committed to taking on in terms of trying to build and maintain respectful relationships both in public and private lives in order to make real change. I'm just astounded at the task that many of you in this room have in terms of the rollout. 1,000 schools signed up to this program. I think it is absolutely amazing, and this sort of program will see genuine change into the future. I mean, I don't think 20 years ago when the seatbelt safety campaign started, that 20 years later you'd have small children get into the car, and if someone doesn't have a seatbelt on, to be able to point that out and identify it. I've got kids that tell me which recycle bin things have to go into since they were in kinder. These are all the society changes that take some time to actually become everyday life. And we know that with a Respectful Relationships program rolling out in our schools, that will make a real difference going forward. I was really pleased in January to be able to launch our first action plan to support the prevention of family violence across this state, and to support the delivery of our Free from Violence plan. And I encourage you to all read that. That's available on our website through our department. And the action plan really focuses on how we're going to build both the infrastructure and the systems and the support to make sure that primary prevention is rolling out at all levels of society across Victoria, to support the work that you're doing in our schools. Today, I'm really pleased to be able to further support Partners in Prevention funding, and to be able to announce a further $300,000 to support the network under the first action plan, Free from Violence, so that you can continue to do the work that you're doing here into the future. So what I'd like to do is congratulate you all for the work that you're doing to continue to support you in raising awareness of the Respectful Relationships Initiative and to continue to support the vital work that you're all doing as practitioners to keep informed, to keep supported, to keep rolling out this program in a well-resourced and robust way, but also to be confident that the work that you are doing is really going to shape and change the future for many families and for our society now and in years to come. And I think we all share the vision for our children to grow up in a safe and respectful community, and that's pretty much why we all get out of bed every day and do what we do. So can I thank you all for your work and for your vision and wish you luck in the seminars ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that announcement, Minister. It's such exciting news. For many of you who've been involved with the network for quite some time, you'll know that we spend a significant proportion of our time cobbling together little bits and pieces of funding to continue the network, and it's been fantastic over the last 2 years to have such significant support from the Andrews government, so thank you. Partners in Prevention has got over 11 years of involvement in respectful relationships, and we've got a really long-standing history of evolving ourselves and adapting to meet the kind of changing needs of the community sector. We really think that we feel quite a unique space in respectful relationships provision in Victoria. We are not in schools like a lot of you. We are not doing the direct work of educating the students, but what we are doing is supporting practitioners from all walks of life to make sure that you've got what you need that is relevant to your school, to your local community and to your region. The funding commitment allows us to build on the existing work over the last 10 years, but it also enables us to build on and keep testing some of the approaches that we've been doing, some of the approaches using technology, some of the different ways of engaging with our stakeholders and our network members, some of the different ways that we are developing tools and resources and making sure that we're bringing that on the ground practice to a statewide context. So we're really, really excited to be able to continue to do that. And we are looking forward to sharing with you all, obviously, what the continued expansion of PIP will look like, and we'll be doing that at kind of future seminars and through the e-news. So make sure that you keep in touch.